We are witnessing history in Washington with multiple key players stepping up to extend the Caps' win streak, with one rookie showing poised to become a star and Spencer Carbery leading the way. This Washington Capitals team is terrifying the rest of the NHL as they set NHL records, and we're going to break down everything you need to know on their dominant performances in this episode. So, Darius, let's just dive straight into it. And listen, going into this, the Washington Capitals, the third best team in the National Hockey League with the longest winning streak of 6 games, have been showing why teams should be terrified of a team that's continuously growing from their veterans and young players. Listen, looking at last night's game alone, the Capitals are the first team in NHL history to get multi-goal games from a 40-year-old or older player in Ovi and a player 20 or younger in Ryan Leonard. This is a team, Darius, that doesn't only have the veterans. You have a lot of guys, Ovi, Tom Wilson, John Carlson, but even the young guys like Ryan Leonard are stepping up, and I do want to segue into him alone. 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. He becomes the first Capitals rookie to have a 4-point game since Nick Backstrom, March 3rd, 2008. What is your thoughts on the progression of Ryan Leonard in his first full season with this team?
A lot has gone well for this team the last 3 years, and I think a lot of it has to do with coaching, which we'll get into in a second, of course, goaltending. But the biggest question for me a couple of years ago is how is this team going to retool on the fly? Because Ovi's not going anywhere until he decides to retire, and a lot of the team was aging out. Well, they've done exactly that. Ryan Leonard comes in the door, and he's been unbelievable. And of course, he spent some time in the NHL last year, but this is officially his rookie season. This is his first full season in the NHL. He finished last year with 9 games in the regular season. He obviously played the playoffs as well for the Capitals, who made it to the second round. He only had 1 point, and of course, he's still figuring out the league at that point, but he's been unbelievable so far this year. I mean, he's scoring a ton of goals. He has multi-point games. As you can see, this, not even multi-point games. He's doing things that haven't been done since Nick Backstrom, back when the Capitals, were winning President's trophies and all of that stuff in the, late 2000. So, he's been unbelievable. And to kind of inject him into this lineup where he can learn from guys like obviously Alex Ovechkin, John Carlson, guys like this, I think that, it's going to be really good for his development, and he can kind of just take over the keys, or be, handed the keys when they eventually retire, right? So they've done a really good job retooling on the fly, like I mentioned before. I thought, how are they going to do this? Well, Connor McMichael's been unbelievable. Obviously, we've been talking about Ryan Leonard. He's been great, and a bit of a sheltered role as well, but I mean, he's still been putting up points and been playing great. He's getting some minutes as well. So not only that, like Dylan Strome has turned into the player that everyone knew that he was supposed to be in Washington as well. So he's been a revelation. I mean, they have something really, really good going here. So, Ryan Leonard's been a very, maybe not surprised. You knew that, there's a lot of hype around him coming into the NHL, but he is delivering upon it right now. And it looks like the future is bright in Washington. Not just the future. They're third in the NHL right now. Again, where they started this year, you're like, okay, maybe they're going to take a step back from where they were last year, which could make some sense. I don't think that's the case. They are a foot on the gas all the way still this year.
And I think the big thing is, too, dear, is we're seeing every player step up. Just looking at the lines quickly before we get into the obvious name, you have a lot of guys. Dubois not even in this lineup. John Carlson's not in. This is a team that is third in the NHL on a 6-game winning streak on the backs of course, a lot of veterans. We're going to touch on goaltenders, but one guy in particular, Ovi. Listen, we need to talk about him. The signature one-timer, a little closer than usual. Also, that Ryan Leonard goal is disgusting. But going into Ovi, scoring goal 911 last night. The numbers are insane. There was at a point a lot of people said maybe he can't beat Gretzky's record. I think he's going for 1,000. It doesn't even feel like the man's slowing down. The Russian machine, 29 points in 28 games. What is your thoughts on his continued dominance? Listen, he's not going to be a 70 goal scorer, 60 goal scorer. He very well could be. But what is your thoughts on him just progressing season after season and not really slowing down?
He's definitely going for 1,000 goals. He's going to try and play as long as possible. I was under the impression again a couple years ago that, he had a cup. Once he got the record, maybe he'd retire. No reason to retire. He's playing, honestly, he's changed the game a lot, right? Obviously the game in general, but his game a lot as well. And he's adapted as he's gotten older. And he's playing some of the best hockey of his career as well, at least in the regular season. But of course, he's adapted. He's not the same player that he was, but it's okay because he's finding different ways to get it done and to win hockey games. So he's been unbelievable. And to see him transition throughout his career to this point where he's almost 40 years old, he is going for 1,000 goals. It's going to be exciting to watch. And he has 14 goals so far this year, which I believe he's played 29 games. He's been unbelievable, or 28 games, excuse me. He's been unbelievable. So he's going to continue that. He's going to score at least, like, he could probably get maybe 40 goals again this year, right? Like, it depends on how the rest of the season goes, how the team is feeling, but they're on a roll right now. I think that he's going to get, some goals. Gone are the days of maybe, the 60 goal Alex Ovechkin, or even the 55 goal, anything like that. But I mean, routinely the last couple of years, he's still been scoring, 40 goals or close to 40 goals. So if he continues at that pace, play 2-3 more seasons and you're there. So, he's at 911. He's been unbelievable. I'm running out of adjectives to describe this guy. He's been a pleasure to watch ever since I was a kid, one of my favorite players growing up. So just to see him, run around and hit guys and then still come out with an electric goal was unbelievable. So running out of words to describe him, it's just so fun to witness, and he's still doing it.
And I think greatness is the best word. And listen, I can give you 911 reasons on why this is the best goal scorer of all time. But Darius, looking at the team, it's not a two-man show. We know this is a team with Spencer Carbery at the helm. I just want to put it out there. What he's done for the Washington Capitals since coming from the Toronto Maple Leafs as an assistant coach is absolutely phenomenal. You can see the seasons, 40 wins, 31 losses, 51 with 22 losses, now 17 with 9. And they haven't made the playoffs yet, but they're going to be a playoff team. I mean, look at the schedule and the standings right now. This is a playoff bound team. But my big thing is looking at this is a committee. We're seeing a lot of guys step up. Tom Wilson has been great. I mean, leading the team in points, 30 points, a Team Canada lock. In my opinion, he has to be. But this is the team with the best Connor Mick in the league. Listen, I don't like the Edmonton Oilers, so we're going to name that to Connor McMichael. This is a team, Darius, that continues building. We're going to touch on goaltenders, but what is your thoughts on just how well-rounded they've built this, from just the back end, the goaltenders, to the forwards and the coaching staff?
It's very impressive, like I said earlier, like how they've been able to retool on the fly here. And I'll keep calling it that because they never rebuilt. They lost a lot of key pieces and they were able to retool on the fly. The goaltending's been unbelievable. I want to get to that in a second. But what Spencer Carbery's brought to this team, we saw what he did as an assistant coach in his time in Toronto, and we knew that he was going to go somewhere and be a head coach, whether it was in Toronto or somewhere else. He landed in Washington, and it's just the culture that he brings. You can talk about systems and all that stuff, and I think he does a great job with that stuff, but it's the culture that he brings. Everyone's held accountable, but it is light. You see all these post-game videos after wins. He's pointing out certain players and what they're doing well. He makes everyone feel like they're involved. Everyone has a part on this team, and that's how you find success as a team. Everybody does need to chip in. Everybody does need to be on board with what's happening and bought in, and I think that's what he's brought to the Washington Capitals. So he's been unbelievable in that way, and to watch those post-game videos is always a lot of fun because, again, he's just congratulating everyone. Everyone seems like they're celebrating each other's successes. That's how you find success as a team. That's what he's brought to the table. And not only that, Logan Thompson's been unbelievable. Like you mentioned, should probably, I mean, especially with Team Canada's goaltending situation, should get a look. His numbers speak for themselves. It's not even the numbers, the eye test. If you watch the games, he's making incredible saves and timely saves, right? He's making the saves that you need, of course, like the routine ones, but these timely, big saves in these games that allow them to win. And a couple weeks ago, they were playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in a comeback victory, and he was maybe not the reason that they won that game. It was the rest of the team, but there was a couple really good grade A opportunities with little shots on goal in that game from the Leafs, and he kept them in it in that way. He made the necessary saves, the timely saves, and he was able to secure that win for them. So he's been awesome as well.
And I mean, the big thing is, looking at this, you could see that second in the NHL goals against average, just about a 2, which is insane. We know Jesper Wallstedt has been incredible for the Minnesota Wild, but with the save percentage as well, I think it's top 5. A lot of guys above him are backup goaltenders or someone that gets a bit of a more cushioned schedule, but we're seeing greatness come out of this team. From the forwards, the defense, we didn't even touch on Chychrun. That's been outstanding for this team. A lot of people said it might be a bad signing, but overall, this team is building something incredible. And Capitals fans, what is your thoughts? How far can they go this season? Are we going to see multiple years out of Ovi? Does he hit 1,000? Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments. But that'd be it for this episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far and you want to stay up to date on not only the Capitals, but the rest of the NHL as well. But I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care.